We usually see him top of the hour, but you know what? He's a busy man. Chris Mulcahy, meteorologist here in the Live Impact studio now. At least it's so nice and comfortable. We love it on the second day of October. I'm glad there are 31 days in October.
I know.
This beautiful month.
And I was mentioning this yesterday. October is a sneaky month, though, because of all the months, the daily high temperatures and lows, there's always an average. They change the most in October compared to any other month. So our highs from the 1st to the 31st decrease 10 degrees, and our lows 13 degrees.
Whoa.
No other month even decreases their highs or lows by 10 or more degrees. Well, we do it for both our highs and lows. So I just want people to know the first part is always a little bit better than the next. But let's roll tape. Let's do this. We are at Charlotte Motor Speedway, and it is very active. It is usually very dormant at this time, but we have a big race Sunday. We're talking about the Roval 400, something to look forward to. What you're looking at right here is the 24-hour temperature change. This is just showing you it is colder than yesterday, big time. At one point, this was showing a 17-degree difference from day to day in Wadesboro. We're still about 18 degrees colder than 929 that we had on Wednesday. Current temperatures, though, we are starting to warm up right around 61 degrees, 54 up in the mountains. We're going to have a gentle breeze that's 7 to 12 coming from the northeast, and it's great for pumpkin picking, y'all. I already did my pumpkin promotion yesterday. There's a lot of great places open during the weekdays as well. I highly recommend, if you are the lucky one to have any random weekdays off, trying to get that PTO before December 31st, this is a great day for it. 1, wall-to-wall sunshine. 2, it's comfortable. And 3, it's not as crowded. And also, the earlier you go, better to go. I promoted Bush and Vine, not that they're in my back, it's just my favorite place to go because you literally can pick it off the vine. That's awesome. It's not that you just go to some random hay bales and pick which one you like. No, you get to go out in the patch and actually find which one. So this is a great day to do that, but you can also do it this weekend. It's just going to be a lot busier. Today, 75 degrees. Yesterday was 81, so we are seeing a little bit of a dip. And then tomorrow is going to be very, very similar to what we have today. And then we're back to about 80 degrees. So that's very similar to what we had yesterday. We're just increasing the clouds through the day. So pumpkin spice people, you are looking at a good time maybe for a hot version by tomorrow because we're dropping down to about 52 to 54 degrees. That is the coldest that we got in September. September, the bottom was 54. If we get below that, this will be the coldest we've been since about the last week of May. So kind of putting that in perspective. Definitely feeling the chill, but tomorrow's going to be another great day. And you can see that our lows are going to make a little bit of a comeback. We're back to the lower 60s Monday through Thursday before a little drop, and that's going to be a big cold front. And then meanwhile, up in the mountains, those lows are going to be in the lower 40s, and the mountaintops even dropping down to the 30s. So October is great, but we are going to see a lot more of those chillier mornings going forward. And it's the next few days that are perfection, in my opinion, because they feel the best. Anytime it's not overly humid, that is going to be a much better addition to the day, especially the mid to the upper 70s with sunshine. It doesn't get much better than that. One of the favorite papers that I've read on that, it's actually ideal for human comfort, being in the mid to the upper 70s with sunshine, barely a light breeze, so it's perfect. But then by the end of the weekend, still not feeling bad. It's a little sticky, but by Tuesday and Wednesday, we're highlighting those days because they're going to be a lot more humid, a lot warmer, and a better chance for some showers and storms. So there's the APFs, as I'm calling them, that you need to check. Apple picking, pumpkin picking, fall foliage. You can do all those by this weekend. Fall foliage is very narrow, though. You have to go on top of Grandfather Mountain, but this is the time to do it because it's likely going to hit its peak fall foliage before things start to brown off next week. So I think it's this weekend and early next week that it's going to be prime time up there. Seeing a lot of great fall foliage up there. Also, you can book times for apple picking, such as Kerrigan Farms. I already mentioned my favorite pumpkin picking place. And also, Ye Renaissance Fest. Huzzah! Jeb, have you gone?
I have not been to the North Carolina, Charlotte area Renaissance.
You got to do it. Do it this year. Come on, do it.
This
I'm
feels
going to
like
try
it's
to
right
go
up your
this
alley.
weekend.
You are?
I'm going to try to go. I don't know if it's sold out
Nice.
because it is opening weekend.
Yeah, double check that, and that's one thing. Always get your tickets in advance. It gets crazy busy, but it has something really for everyone. But I'm pretty excited about it because some of these, especially for the first couple of weekends, it's a scorcher. But instead, it's going to be right around 80 degrees. Indirect sunshine, that still gets pretty hot, so keep that in mind, especially some of those people wearing those regal gowns if you go all out. But we're going to be rain-free. A couple of days ago, we were looking at a chance for rain on Sunday. I don't think that's the case. So it will be a dry Panthers game, except for maybe the Tears if they lose. But I think they're going to win because they are undefeated at home this year.
Yeah. Boom, boom.
So,
One.
Yeah, but they're still undefeated.
Okay, yeah.
Maybe they're just a home
Let's
team.
go with that.
I'm going to stay optimistic.
There we go.
Also, since we're on the subject of football, I'm 3-1 in the WCNC Fantasy
Where's that
Football
one
League.
from, Chris?
But
What's that one from, Chris?
the one is from Jeb.
Oh.
I talked a big game. This is why I should never fill in the blank talk to anyone. So
Yeah, that was on Live Impact
I
News.
know.
We actually
For
had
the
that
record?
live.
Oh.
I know. Let's not clip
See
that.
what you started?
I also here on Live Impact News said that the Panthers are going to make the playoffs. So both football accusations stick to weather, Chris.
It's still
There we
early.
go,
You can make the
exactly.
playoffs with three
That's
losses
true.
or whatever.
That's
it is.
true. Yeah,
They
we'll
just
see.
got them all over with.
Yeah,
Losses.
that's see. Sometimes you just want to get the bad over with. I like that.
Exactly. Get done early.
All right, so we'll roll on. I could talk about football for the rest of the time that we're here, but
Year.
yeah, no, seriously, a lot of injuries. Okay, I'm getting distracted. Okay, so I want to move on, and this isn't a big deal as of yet, but typically when you have a hotter environment, a humid environment, a chance of a big temperature swing, that is the recipe for a strong to severe thunderstorm setup, and we are looking at that because this is Tuesday morning. You're seeing clouds start to roll in, chance for rain, but I'm highlighting Wednesday. So we'll see how this looks. I think this could be an impactful weather day, just depending. And if I were to narrow down a best chance for widespread rain or even a thunderstorm potential, it's going to be Wednesday. As that front's rolling through, typically the type of setups will have what's called a prefrontal boundary, line of storms, and then you have the rain behind it on the actual front. And then once that passes, the cool things down. We are looking at the arrival of that really Wednesday night to Thursday, and then the storm chance on Wednesday afternoon. But so much can change. Look what happened with Imelda. It was eventually going out to sea. Then it was going to the Carolinas. Then it was going to Georgia. Then it was going to the Carolinas. And then it was going nowhere near the United States. So things can change. That's why we usually try not to long-range forecast, because Mother Nature decides to do what she wants. So I'm just letting you know that I am seeing this setup. Now, tropical forecasting is a completely different beast. When you're starting to do what's called synoptic forecasting, where you're seeing the large range flows, it's a little bit more predictable. So one thing we can say for sure, there will be a cold front, there will be widespread rain. It's just about the time frame. If this sets up during the afternoon, you have a peak chance for storms that could be stronger. If it rolls through the overnight, it's mainly just rain. So that's going to be the big question marks there. I just kind of wanted to highlight it, saying that what I'm watching and looking out for. Our Jerry Hunt Supercenter 7-day forecast shows the mid-70s over the next couple of days, 80-80 for the weekend, and then we have the lower to the mid-80s next week. Now, we will likely drop to either the lower 70s, even the upper 60s next Thursday. That's how strong the cold front. That's also indicating when you're looking at a temperature swing up to 15 degrees, that's a strong what's called temperature differentiation, aka change in temperature. That's a really unstable environment, so that's why we're kind of highlighting and looking at Wednesday to see how that's going to impact us. But in the near term, we focusing on the good. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. How much time do we have? Because I have a bonus study that I wanted to mention.
time.
Sure.
You got time?
Bring it.
Okay, cool. So, as we all know, the hurricane season always has a given list of names that we have each and every year. Well, just recently we got done with Imelda, or I shouldn't say done because it is still technically out there. Bermuda had this pass around midnight. We have winds sustained at about 80 miles per hour. Soon Imelda's going to move out to sea. I won't show you that. But we still have a chance that we could have another wave, 20% chance that's well east of the Lesser Antilles. And then we also have the little wave that's literally right on the east coast of Florida. Could dump up to 3 inches of rain, but there's a 10% chance that that develops over the next couple. Either side, just letting you know, that's a very weak chance, but we're keeping an eye on it. But we still don't have a landfalling hurricane this season. We had a landfalling tropical storm, not a hurricane. The last time we did that was 2015. But what I really want to show you, because I'm going to do a deeper dive on that tomorrow, is here's the list. What's up next is Jerry. We've joked about it. Karen can't be a thing or else the internet will break. Lorenzo, Melissa, and Nestor. But that list wasn't always like this. So in 1979, the World Meteorological Organization, also known as the WMO, decided that they were doing things wrong. that all the names were females. So these deadly destructive storms were female names. Well, they decided to equal the playing field. That comes 79. They made 6 new lists of alternating male and female names. This is the list that we are on this year that was initially issued in 1983 for the first time. The one that really sticks out the most is Hugo in the top middle. So this is the Hugo's list in general. Now, some of the names like Barry and Chantal, they've been reused multiple times. But what I'm about to show you is the changes that this list has gone through, because this list is special, not only because Hugo was on it, but this is the only list that we have ever had that every single year a name has been retired off the list. So check this out. This took me too much time, so I have to show it to you. All right, so Alicia was the first name on this list to go down. 1983, the strongest storm that happened there, and then they ended up changing over to Allison. 1989, that was the year of Hugo. Hugo was the standalone there, so Hugo gets retired to the name Umberto. We said that a lot recently. Umberto, since it first became a thing on the list in 1995, became a hurricane that year, and every year since that Umberto's popped up, it has become a hurricane, but this year is the only year it became a Category 5. Now, you're going to be looking at some other names that aren't on there anymore, such as Luis, Marilyn, Opal, and Roxanne. Those eventually changed because all 4 of those were retired. It is very rare to just retire 2 names. They retired 4. So I believe that was the 3rd most names ever to be retired in a given year. And those changed over to Lorenzo, Michelle, Olga, and Rebecca. So the only reason why names are even retired is they have to reach a certain value cost of damage that they cause. And also they have to be deadly enough. So sadly, they can kill a couple of people and they're going to be reused. Hurricane Emily is a good example. I think killed over a dozen people, has become a hurricane multiple times, but was never retired. Helene was actually a name that was a Category 4, and that was never retired, but that's a different story. The next names that you just saw, there was a change. Andrea. So the A name here, I'll rewind. Allison, Iris, and Michelle. Look at that. All those names were retired in 2001. Moving forward, you have Nestor, Dorian, and Fernan. We saw those recently, but bringing us up to here, I want to escalate to 2019. Dorian is another historic name. This is one of the strongest storms ever to hit. It literally was stationary over Bermuda and then past us even here in the Carolinas. Well, 2019, that one was retired. That moved to Dexter that we saw this year, and that brings us up to the current name. So it just really shows how these lists evolve over time. All the ones in purple are the names that change twice, and that brought us up to the Imelda, the Melissas, the Dexters, and the Andreas. So if we do not retire a name this year, the only one that will have even a close chance is Chantal, because that was a deadly tropical storm. It doesn't need to be a hurricane to be retired, but I think it's below that criteria. So if we do not see a retired name, this will be the first time that this list doesn't do it, but this one is the officially changed names 14 times, which is the most of any hurricane list.
Wow.
So just wanted to show you that little case study. This is what I do in my
Amazing.
spare time.
I was going to say, is it because of, with all the hurricanes before being named women, the saying, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned?
Might be. Maybe other reasons there, but I'm not going to comment on that. For saving it. Yeah, because it's actually interesting is that 1950 that they started naming storms pretty much just by the alphabet that they use, like like Alpha, Beta, Charlie, Delta,
right.
all that stuff. But then they moved over to the female names, I believe, in 1953, and then it took them that long until 1979 to finally switch over. So a lot of times when I'm talking about these lists, it only goes back to 1979. So
All right.
There you go.
There we go. I love all the education we get along the way.
I have a lot in my head. It's just really for me to get it out so I can put new information in there. So thanks for listening, y'all.
Need a